Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video, and I think this is going to be one of the more important videos I've done. Um, I know when we get change in this game, a lot of times we get early resistors, people don't want to change with it, and I'm going to make a very bold statement right here, and then I'll give you the information to back it up. I think unequivocally, by far, the most important mode in this game is Titan Takeover. You cannot afford to miss this. You need to do it daily, and you need to put, in my opinion, and your faction needs to put a bunch of effort into it. And you might be saying to yourself, well, it can't be that important, Mherex. It can't be more important than Feud. It can't be more important than Showdown. It can't be more important than getting new cards on the weekend. And I would say, yeah, it absolutely is. For everyone also that has had an issue with getting hype, which is everyone not paying for it, including me, um, this solves that, right? On my screen, and I'll show you in game, these are the rewards I got yesterday, right? So for one day, I claimed 9,500 hype currency. That's enough to do a 10 pull every day if you mix that with the whatever. That's the Monday the stip tour, right? The hype stip tour. You can do a 10 pull every single day. That's 30 10 pulls a month. That's a lot of hype pulls, right? Hype is our new higher tier. So if you don't have hype, it's like you're a 6-star bronze fighting a 6-star gold, but you go second. So in order to progress forward in the game, you have to get this hype. Now, I'm not saying every faction needs to clear tier 5 bosses, right? Because the one on the right is a tier 5 boss. That's why it's so much. Not clear it. You just need to fight it. To be clear, we did not KO tier 5. Um, so you just need to do the damage required on tier 5. So you just need it unlocked. So this is going to be a PSA both to single players and to factions. I'm going to talk to you guys about how your faction can unlock the easier tiers. At least every faction should be able to get to 4 without issue. And everyone in your faction daily should be able to farm 4,500 hype currency pretty much without exception. Sometimes it's hard to hit this tier, right? 1.35 billion damage. So some of you might only be getting 2,000 instead of 3,000, but that's still a good chunk, right? You can't afford to not get it. And if you're free to play, this means even more for you, right? And for factions that can, you all need to be working towards having all 3 of these tiers unlocked every day. So we'll switch over to the game and we'll get to it. And like I said, in my opinion, there is not a single more important thing you can do as a faction or as a solo player than Titan Takeover. So what do you have to do to get that, right? So this first week, Scopely is giving us 2 extra energy. Now is the easiest time to unlock the tiers. If you don't know, and if your faction leader doesn't know, send him this video, right? Um, so how it works is you get, right, this week we're getting 5 energy. Next week it goes down to 3. There's an off day on Saturdays. So there's none on Saturday, but every other day there is one, right? How your faction did on day 1, whatever the highest tier they unlocked is, that's where you start on the next time with it unlocked to. On day 2, same thing. Day 3, same thing, right? So day 1, our faction did not unlock tier 5. Day 2, we made it a priority and unlocked it, and we're trying to get more and more people on board, which is not easy. But today it's going even better. So the priority is to get tier 4 cleared and 5 unlocked so we can all get those rewards. So the smartest thing you can do right now is you can clear tiers 1, 2, and 3 with one player in your faction with one fight. My free to play can do 1 million damage easily. So literally any faction in the game, one player can clear tier 1. After that, nobody else should fight it. One player can clear tier 2. You're doing 15 million damage, super easy, right? You can see the chest reward. There's no hype currency here right now, right? It just goes to platinum, 7,500. So yeah, there's that. Tier 3, you finally, it takes 400 million. That can easily be cleared by one player, right? So now you have 100 players basically with 5 energy to take down this 500 billion. Tier 3, you're going to want to farm daily once you have all the tiers unlocked. Or if your faction can unlock tier 5, you definitely want to farm tier 3 daily and then put the rest of your attacks into tier 4 so your faction can try to unlock tier 5, right? Um, but tier 3 you want to farm daily because your chest rewards on tier 3 you start getting hype currency, right? Which is huge, 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 huge. And you only need to do 20 million damage. So that one's pretty doable. 4 it gets harder, for sure. 270 million damage to get the bottom tier. That can be a stretch, but all of your attacks accumulate, right? And you don't need to KO it to get those. So, yeah. So that's what your faction and you should be working on, is this week, especially with the extra energy, is getting tier 4s down and tier 5s unlocked so you can farm the best rewards daily. This is like, this is like straight up farming. This is how you're going to improve your roster. You're going to get hype. And if you don't do this, you and your faction, you're going to not be able to play this game. Really. This is something you have to focus on. The sooner you do it, the better. So start working. Once your faction has tier 5 unlocked, at least until they add more tiers or something, you can kind of fall into a pattern of just farming the nodes, right? Once you want to get to level 11, currently that's the highest, level 11, right? And then you get better rewards at the end. Every day on tier 11, the top 10 get this rewards and so on, but everyone in the faction gets 5 wildcard hype of the corresponding class. So 5 wildcard showboat every day, etc., which is big. And then your top 10 get a few more currency for the shop. It's really not a big deal, nothing to infight over. But just so that you don't want to slack off because the rewards are less each tier, right, for level 10. So you still always want to try and do a good job, but you should be able to get your roster in order in a good lineup with what you have on your team, just to be able to hit and do proper damage to get your chests. Your whole goal is farming this chest every day, doing 1.35 billion on this one. And then tier 5, it was, what was it? I had it up. Let me pull it up on my screen again. Here. You got to do 4 billion damage in one run on tier 5. Not one run, it's cumulative, I'm sorry. 4 billion damage to get the platinum chest, right? So this, it has to be, in my opinion, the main focus if you want to build your account, right? Otherwise, you're going to get hype at such a slower level. So this is like a PSA to every faction out there, every player. The game has changed, and the most important event you can do, period, is a daily basis, and it's the Titan event. That's the only way you're going to keep up and progress. And the sooner you get on board, the better your life will be, for sure. Without it, people, with this, the people that unlock tier 5 and hit tier 5 once every day, we're gonna be, I'm farming 10 pulls every day, man, and I'll be getting tons of hype, tons and tons of hype. And so yeah, you got to do this, right? Even if it's tier 4, it's still going to be important, and it's pretty fun. There's a lot of stuff on your roster you can do. You have to work as a faction. It's frustrating when you have people that don't work on it. We had just we're a top 10 faction, yes, but we had at least 20 people yesterday that contributed almost nothing, and we were able to get the tier 5 down. If any of those 20 people are listening, you know who you are. You just look at your score, it's low. You're screwing over 80 other people. For anyone else listening in your faction, if you're putting low scores, you're screwing over 100 people. You don't just think about yourself here. There's other people's game at stake and at risk. And I would venture to say that nothing will get people to leave a faction more than not doing this, because you cannot survive without this. So you're going to need to make it a priority, right? Now, I'm not saying to be mean about it, a jerk, or that kind of thing, set realistic expectations for your faction and your player levels, right? But you can't afford to not put effort into this. I think as long as people are trying, it's good, but there's no way you can't do this, because you can solo unlock tiers 1, 2, and 3. And so everyone can at least be farming tier 3 and 4 daily, and you need to do your best to do that. Tier 4 is going to be hard to farm for sure for a lot of accounts. My free to play is not able to get the max chest yet. I tried yesterday and wasn't able to. So that's definitely going to be hard, but I was able to get the bottom tier chest. So there's that. And I think those are the big things, right, to know. Other couple big things I'll just mention here. Tour perks work. They're active. Okay. So tour perks work. Reversals work. Hardcore moves work. All of those things work. Countdowns go off as soon as you put them down. And every time you do a move, after the move, the countdowns tick. Same thing with juggernauts. When you put the juggernauts out, they tick down once. Every time after you do a move, they tick down again. Okay, so those are just some easy tips. Tag links work, hot tags work. So you can use a hot tag and tag in and have that person take the damage and take the hit, and then have your main person go back to dealing damage if you have a very good damage dealer and you just want to sacrifice a not good hot tag to double up your damage. These are all strategies that are viable, things that work. I'll be making more videos on the mechanics next week. This week, I'm just trying a bunch of different characters on each one to see who can actually hit hard. Next week, I'll focus more on mechanics. But right now, I'm trying to run a ton of different characters through, because everyone's roster is different, so we're all going to have to use different people. Anyway, this is a pretty long video for what it is, but I'm telling you guys, don't ignore this. The amount of help you can get for your roster from doing this daily as a faction and as a solo experience, you can't miss this. You gotta get this on farm as quick as possible and be doing at least tiers 3 and 4 every single day. No excuse not to do tiers 3 and 4, right? None. It's other than it takes a little bit of work and you can't afford to not. And every faction should be trying their best to get this boss down and unlock tier 5, so you can get these really good rewards and put, let me put it up again, and put tier 5 on farm for your members too, right? You can't miss that hype coin. So basically, guys, in a nutshell, it is worth focusing, I think, your entire roster on making this happen and being able to farm the chest daily with wherever you're at in the game, right? Because you just simply, that hype, you can't make up for not having it. So the great news is this helps massively even the playing field between spenders and free to play, because you cannot buy anywhere remotely near this much hype, not even close, right? So if you're willing to put in the work and the effort, you're good, right? You can't get, like, they can still buy stuff, but it's not anywhere near this level, right? So I applaud Scopely actually for how they're doing this with hype, and they're making this like farmable and doable on all levels, and lots of like different factions, like pretty much every faction. Like I said, there's no reason every faction in the game cannot farm tier 3 and 4, since you can farm that solo. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to embrace this? Do you think I'm overreacting? I know I'm not, but I'm still curious to hear it if you are. Please, for your roster's sake, if you're going to keep playing this game long term, focus on the Titan takeover. And like I said, I applaud Scopely, because this is not pay to win, really. I mean, yes, I can get a higher score than you can if I spend more money because I have a bigger roster, but you can still get these chests every day with what you're going to have, and focus on the rewards that you can get. And also, this is a compelling game mode on a daily basis that's important. And I don't know, like I said, I think it's more impactful than the weekend events and things like that. Like, I can get all the new cards I want. If I don't have hype for them, they're not really worth a hill of beans though, right? So like, this is a game changer, and I think it's great. I love the direction this is going in. This feels like a proper like game to me, right? Like, kind of like, I play a lot of other games, and a lot of games have this daily stuff that you can't miss. Like, if you play Raid Shadow Legends, you're going to know exactly what I mean when I say Clan Lord, Demon Lord Clan Boss. If you do that every day, the rewards you get basically equate to if you're trying to spend $1,000 a month plus. And so like this hype, you can't even buy this much hype, right? Even if you wanted to. So it's really, really cool that they're doing this. But the reason I'm trying to make this video is to hopefully point out so you guys can understand just how meaningful and impactful it is, and also to share how to go about it, right? You don't need 100 people attacking tier 1. It's got 1 million life. Just get it gone. Get tier 2 unlocked, 15 million life. Get it gone. Forget about it. Tier 3, everyone, yeah, you're going to want to hit it once and start doing that. But 400 million, one player can unlock tier 4. So you got to be going gangbusters to get this tier 4 down and get tier 5 open so you guys can keep getting that hype. So hopefully this video helps both solo players and faction leaders, faction players. Share this around. The game has changed and everyone needs to change with it or get left behind, right? And I don't want anyone to get left behind that enjoys the game. So I just figured it was important to get out. So let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and good luck out there. Very interested in the comments on this one.